Hi everyone, this morning when I was drinking a cup of coffee, I stumbled across an interesting article to be discussed today. This article was written by Gary D. Barnett. The title is, "To Know the Enemy That Has Caused This Tyrannical Carnage, Just Look at the Reflection in the Mirror." I'm sure this will make you excited. Without further ado, let's get started. Søren Kierkegaard said, "There are two ways to be fooled. One is to believe what isn't true, the other is to refuse to believe what is true." If you wish for freedom, you will never know it, but if you take and protect your freedom, it will be yours. Instead of succumbing to fear and looking to government for answers, take charge of your own lives and make all those that would assault you, your mind, your body, or your liberty, know fear. Fear is just a catalyst used by the ruling class in order to frighten and divide the people so as to gain power and control over them. This fabricated fear leads to dependence, which leads to indifference. Indifference leads to silence, silence leads to oppression, and oppression leads to slavery. It is better for the people to instill great fear in the minds of any that would choose to rule over them, instead of accepting tyranny from the scourge that is the political class. All of this boils down to the fact that the citizens themselves are entirely to blame for their current lot in life. Most of the people in this country are fond of claiming that this is a republic and that the people rule over the government through their alleged representatives, not the other way around. The irony is that this belief is ridiculous while also being partially true because the people are their own worst enemy. They have voluntarily allowed others to rule over them, and they believe that by voting for their own masters, that they have some control over the process and the policies created therein. This thinking of course is lunacy, but it is the prevalent attitude of the masses. This asinine notion has been instilled in them since birth, and the bulk of society still believes that they are free. The people could be fully in charge and that they have the power to accept or deny rule, but in the case of the majority of people in the United States, they have accepted state domination instead of self-rule. In order to reverse the situation, all that is necessary is, for the public at large, to remove all consent from any claiming authority. The solution seems simple enough, but the problem lies in how to achieve it, given the weakness, cowardice, and gullibility of the herd. In order to regain the upper hand in any quest for freedom, all that is necessary is for a fairly large number of people to disobey any government order and to deny any support whatsoever for the political class. Disobedience, non-compliance, and self-defense against any aggression by the oligarchic few attempting to gain power and control over you will end immediately any attempt by the state to acquire that control. So why is this population so seemingly consumed with an attitude of acquiescence? This society continues to wallow in self-pity and such irrational timidity as to allow for its own servitude at the hands of tyrants when simple rebellion would save the day. Before I continue the video, please give a like if you've learned something. And don't forget to subscribe and also click the notification bell too so you won't miss any update. And watch to the end to avoid misunderstanding. Thank you. The problem once again lies directly with the people themselves. This is one case where redundancy needs to be expressed. To find the problem and the culprits in this debacle we face today only requires one look into a mirror by most every American. What should be obvious, even to the most obtuse individual, is that very few in this country are willing to risk anything that could help them regain and protect their own freedom. In fact, they want only to depend on others to either fix the problems for them or tell them what to do. But even if they are told what is necessary, they have not the backbone to see it through and instead come up with every manner of questions and what-ifs, and are completely terrified of not fitting in with the crowd. This attitude is one of pathetic apathy by the bulk of society concerning its own defense of life, love, family, and liberty. It is horribly upsetting to listen to the comments received from the crowd about the fate of individuals at the hands of the state. At once, they ask for solutions and complain that no one has given them any solutions, but this is not true. They have been told the truth, but they can't handle the truth. In other words, they want to be told what to do, but only if all do it at the same time. They need to hide. When the answer is to practice dissent and disobedience, they immediately claim that they are just one and excuse the solution based on fear of not being a part of the herd. This is no doubt due to cowardice, but it is also due to the fact that they do not think as individuals and therefore will not act as individuals. Almost all want total anonymity and desire to be invisible from any view of scrutiny. What is not understood is that acting as individuals en masse will bring great power to any effort to protect freedom, but almost none are willing to act alone, even with the knowledge that when many act alone, they become one. None can give them a solution to this madness, because the American population is not willing to take any individual risk for the sake of their own protection, or that of their family, their neighbors, or even their own liberty. Until this attitude changes, we are all doomed to a tyrannical existence based on the collective stupidity and disinterest of the majority. What is going on today is a psychological experiment by governing forces, meant to accomplish a global takeover, referred to often as the Great Reset. This experiment, in order to be successful, requires that the masses acquiesce to those in power, follow orders, and obey all rules mandated by the state. Once this mindset is in place, as is the case now, regulation of every aspect of life becomes evident. Thought is controlled, as is behavior and movement, and the one test of the psyche of this country's people used to gauge total compliance has already been achieved. Allowance has replaced all freedom, confusion has replaced clarity, and sacrifice by all is expected. We are now in a time where the people, in the name of condemning any that choose to resist and disobey, are justifying evil. Government edicts are being protected by the masses due to false fear monsters that do not exist. The American people are being used to solidify their own servitude and are operating in concert with the ruling class to destroy their own liberty. This is only the beginning of a greater hell on earth. Once the economy is completely destroyed, once the biosecurity state is fully in place, once digital money and tracking are complete, and once this terrible and life-changing COVID-19 vaccine is widely injected, will there be any way out? Arguments will continue, and blame will be spread wide, but in the end, as Pogo so eloquently put it, we have met the enemy, and he is us. Collectivism and collective thinking are the ruination of man, and can only lead to communal self-destruction. Independence is the recognition of the fact that yours is the responsibility of judgment, and nothing can help you escape it, that no substitute can do your thinking, as no pinch hitter can live your life, that the vilest form of self-abasement and self-destruction is the subordination of your mind to the mind of another, the acceptance of an authority over your brain, the acceptance of his assertions as facts, his say-so as truth, his edicts as middleman between your consciousness and your existence. Comment below with more topic ideas for me to discuss. As a lot of care and hard work goes into this, likes and subscribe, let me know I'm doing a good job. All is appreciated greatly. You may not agree with everything from the content I post. Apply critical thinking and use discernment to come to your own conclusions regarding the content. Thanks for watching this video. This Everything Inside Me channel, see you on the next video. Stay safe and healthy.